Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. We're pleased to have back in the studio with us today some folks that are going to chat about the National Latina Business Women Association San Diego. We had Diana Canales. She's a member of this organization. How you doing, Diana?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Beautiful, beautiful. And in your sort of regular full-time job, what do you do?
I'm a financial advisor.
And for who?
Edward Jones.
How long have you been doing that?
About a year,
Okay.
but I've been in the finance industry about 20 years.
Is that right?
Mhm.
You've been in San Diego the whole time?
Yes, born and raised.
No. Where'd you go to college out here?
Yeah.
Where'd you
Zuniga
go?
State.
Aztecs.
Yeah.
Aztec for life. Oh, very good. Joined by your colleague, Jennifer Zuniga. She's a board member for the National Latina Business Women Association. How you doing, Jennifer?
Hi, doing great. Thank you.
Good. And how long have you been on the board?
Since November of 2024.
Okay, so very, very good. And joined by Kristen Fogel, by now 2 years as
Yeah,
a
we're getting
co-host.
there. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Kristen is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. They celebrated their 20th anniversary last year, and they're in Liberty Station. We'll start with you on this, Jennifer. Talk about the mission of the National Latina Business Women Association.
Yeah, so our mission is to empower Latinas through leadership development, entrepreneurship, mentorship, and education. And so our main focus is to help women thrive and give them the tools that they need, whether that's through seminars or workshops or meeting and connecting to the right people.
Yeah, how long has the association been in business?
For 20 years now. We just hit our 20-year mark.
Nice.
Yes.
Amazing.
And you've been involved for how long?
Since November of 2024.
Okay, very, very good. And how long have you been involved with the organization?
Since about October of 2024.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
And so what would you say, I'll start with you on this one, Diana. So now you just joined it. What have you gotten out of this? What does this help you with in your professional career?
I was able to host a seminar where we did a vision board, like a financial vision board. So I get to bring a little bit of myself into teaching others in a fun way. So that was really good to connect with the community and let them know that finances connect to your dreams and how to get there.
Absolutely.
Well, you're in the right place for that here at Mission Fed, the credit union as well. Kristen?
I think we were going to hear from Jennifer. What has it helped you do?
So when I reached out to Josie, she's the president. She was a long friend for about 10 years or so. So she's been in my life as a mentor for some time. And I was switching careers. I come from Department of Homeland Security. I did 10 years with them at TSA at the airport.
Okay.
And I just quit my job and I didn't really know what to do, to be honest. I was like in crisis and I went to Josie and she was like, why don't you get connected with us? You have social media experience. You ran a peer support team for 700 officers. You help establish that. So she asked me to come on board as a volunteer to run our membership position. And through that, I was able to connect with other women. And I am going through a coaching certification course where I'm now becoming a mindful health and wellness coach.
Cool.
I will receive my certificate this Sunday. And then in November, I'll receive my national board exam to be a mindful health and wellness coach.
Very cool.
Yeah, super amazing. I'm just so thankful that organizations like this exist because I didn't know what to do, but I did have a lot of experience and I know a lot and I want to help people and my heart is to give and to help the community. And so just connecting with the right people, it led me on like the second chapter of my life. So it's really beautiful how this all works out.
It's so interesting when you make that point. And Kristen, we talk about this quite a bit when we talk about careers. One of the organizations I work with is Classroom of the Future Foundation, and it's all focused on college and careers and pathways. And here's a great example. You've had the experience, you had the skill sets, you had all this. You just needed to make a little bit of a left turn or a right turn on that, correct? You didn't have to start over.
To some degree, I left a $90,000 job and I went to nothing, but that doesn't, I didn't start off with nothing. I started off with life experience and education I have my bachelor's degree in organizational management. I have years of government experience and admin work. I was a supervisor. I was on a detail also as a communication specialist. So I had the right tools. I just didn't know which avenue to go down.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the learning on that is whether it's you, Jennifer, or you, Diana, is you've got the 20 years experience, right, of doing this. But I want to do X. Well, you don't have to start at the 1 yard line with 99 yards to go. Start at the 50 yard line or whatever the case may be in that area. So talk about the mindful aspect of it. What geeks you up about having that certification?
Well, we help people really get in tune with their own intuition. So it's not about giving advice. It's not about telling people what to do or what's best for them. It's helping them figure out what's best for them and creating a safe space for self-discovery and contemplation and truly discovering and pulling out all the answers within themselves.
Right.
Jennifer is great. She's, you start talking to her and hours later, you feel very comfortable and very safe to talk to her.
Right. So how have you used some of the information that she shared with you in your world?
She's very positive and very insightful. I had a hard time coming from banking, where you're in a bank with a big name on the door and people just walk up to you and hand you money. And I went from that to being on my own, to having to network, and I was an introvert and I didn't know that. I thought that because I'm able to have a conversation with customers, I thought that I was going to be okay. And it was a big culture shock for me to go off on my own and have to look for clients and network and meet people like Jennifer, where I was at a crossroad where I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to the Latina Business Association, and they really helped you. They, what do you need? What do you want to do? What do you want to help others with? And became very passionate about, getting my name out there. So it was really cool.
So how did you guys find the association? And, I really connect to both of your stories. Like, as I reach my 20-year mark, I'm like, what am I doing next? But it's so hard to just say I'm going to make a leap of faith or something like that. So the fact that you found them, how did you find them?
I knew Josie.
Okay.
And I was going to school at the time in 2014. I was graduating with my AA degree at Southwestern College. And I met Josie and Mayor Ron Morrison at an event. And I really enjoyed their leadership and what I saw. And so I actually wanted to volunteer and do an internship at their office.
Okay.
And so I started for a little while, and lo and behold, I wasn't in the right frame of mind and mindset. I was going through a really abusive relationship at the time. And Josie found me one day. I think they had like an address at a church. Ron Morrison was giving a speech about National City. And Josie saw me crying one evening, and she took my hand and she walked me over to somebody, and she was like, help her. She needs help.
Wow.
And she actually helped me get into a sober living.
Wow.
And then I was in a women's home. So that was 2 years of my life. And that's kind of how I stumbled upon just Josie being the president, and then also becoming like a part of this, like just women helping empower other women at whatever stage of their life they're at. And how can we help them?
That's so incredible. And it's so nice to know that there are like Josies out there, that are just like, hey, you, like, I'm going to take you. I'm going to support you.
She did for me what I couldn't do for myself.
Yeah.
What I could have never thought to do for myself is ask for help. And she grabbed me and pulled me to someone else. And they were like, you need to help her. And she left the responsibility to them. And that was forever life-changing, because I quit my government job when I was 20 to 22. And then I ended up going back 6 years later because I had the healing and the help, and I changed behaviors, and I got, a lot of things off my chest. And I was a different version of myself where I can then be a professional.
Yeah.
No, that's great. We're chatting with Diana Canales. She's a member of the National Latina Businesswomen Association, also works for Edward Jones as a financial advisor, joined by her colleague Jennifer Zuniga, board member for the association. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 19th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing great things in San Diego County, whether it's financial literacy or whether it's food insecurity, art, you name it. They're heavily involved and joined by my very cool colleague, Kristen Fogel.
So cool.
She's very cool. She makes me say this too. She's been involved with the San Diego Writers Inc. now for many, many years. They celebrated their 20th anniversary.
Almost 13. Who's counting?
13, is that right?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. You guys doing a lot of great stuff in that. Do you work with associations at all with San Diego Writers Inc.? Do they come in and learn how to write or do anything?
We work with all sorts of organizations, and like whether we're going there and doing presentations, I'm doing like a whole Rotary spin. I don't know how I got on like the Rotary cycle, but I'm doing a whole bunch of those. Like people come and find us, and we work with all sorts of people, all sorts of organizations.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring that up about
because you want to create more work for me.
My job is to make sure that you're working 24 hours a day.
You succeed.
No. In all seriousness, communication is so important. And you were talking about it, Diana, that you were a little bit introverted, right? Until you got to meet and spend time with Jennifer and so forth. And now you're probably more comfortable in a setting, correct?
Yes, a bit more comfortable. And, it's getting there. Baby steps.
Right, exactly. But networking in your world with the association, and we know is everything. Mm-hmm. And you don't know who's around that corner. You don't know who's going to be doing X, Y, and Z. Doing a switching of careers, whatever the case may be. Talk about how networking has benefited you, Diana.
It's helped me to kind of find my niche, helping other women. There's a big stigma around money where men usually control the money. Mm-hmm. And it's even in my company itself, it's total of 9 women and it's about 80 guys. So it's very kind of mind-blowing to see how little bit of women are represented in our industry. It's a man's world when it comes to finance. And I really focus on changing the stigma and helping women, empowering them to take a hold of their finances, to not be scared. You never know. There's a lot of clients that lost their husband and have never done, even balanced their checkbook. And you see that a lot in banking, but more in retirement planning, which is where I do, and investing and seeing your money grow. It's very exciting to sit in front of women, and it's sometimes mostly Latina women that I help. And I let them know my story. I'm a single mom. I have always been able to have a steady job, and this is my passion. There's nothing else that I would want to do but financial advising. And it was a big step for me to go from banking, where it was kind of safe, a 9 to 5, to kind of being on your own and finding your group, finding your niche, and finding what empowers you, what makes you feel good at the end of the day. And that's helping other women with their finances.
So we always, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think there's also this misconception too, that you need like this boatload of money to start.
Correct. So many people think that way. They say, oh, you're a financial advisor, so you must be loaded.
I've got to have X, amount of money to even like talk to you or what have you.
Yeah.
So.
And I always tell clients, the point is just to start.
Yeah.
Just start. Just get it going. I think for me, when I was a teller 20 years ago, one of the bankers came up to me. She's like, you have to open up a 401k. No idea, nothing. And I did it. And I worked for Bank of America about 5 years, then Union Bank for 4, Chase for 10, and then Wells Fargo for 3. So all those years I've rolled over my retirement, and I have a pretty good nest egg because I was able to start when I was so young, and you get so used to it. And a lot of people have that money coming out of their paycheck. They have no idea what it does, what their options are. Yeah. And it's nice to uncover that. I, look through their paychecks and I say, wait a minute, you do have a retirement account. You already started. Let's maximize this. Let's put it to work. And it really feels good to be able to share all the knowledge that I have and the experience that I have.
I knew you brought up something that's just so spot on that, and maybe you can address it too, Jennifer. It gives you that independence, right? But what comes with independence is confidence. So if you maybe not have some confidence in how you deal with certain things in life, you will when you have this. Talk about how important that is.
Oh, it's life-changing, honestly. even with me just leaving a government job and not having a plan, but knowing that I have education and knowing that I have strong women around me has made the difference in my life. Now I'm going on to be a coach and I can coach other people. And I would have never had this confidence if I hadn't seen other women start their businesses, if I didn't see them go from 10, 15, 20 years of being an entrepreneur and be thriving in their careers. And not only that, but helping other women to get there. So being around confident women makes you more confident. It helps all of us like level up into our greatest potential. And so that has been the most gratifying thing that I get to experience, is to see this in action.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
Yeah, so I'll start with you on this, Jennifer, then, pivot over to Diana. We always ask this question in the second half of the interview. What can our Spotlight listeners do to support the association? What can we do?
Well, we have our membership, and that's one thing that really helps, is being around other women who have started from nothing, being around positive people that want to thrive. They want to make more out of their life. When you're around people like that, that is life-changing. We have very affordable memberships, from $25 for students to $50 for professionals, $125 for like business entrepreneurs. And I would say I joined the membership, and all that I'm getting just from being a member and paying my $50 for the year, it does not compare to those $50. What I'm getting right now is a path in life that I would have never thought I would have had I not had access to this network and this association. Along with that is just allowing your dreams to come true. You're going to be around other people, seeing that they're living their best life because they're living their dream. They're living to their fullest potential. They're living their passions. And so one thing that I would encourage is just don't be afraid. Stop.
Okay, I'll quit my job. I've heard you. I've been listening. All right, great.
I mean, if you're not happy with where you're at, then what are you doing? Like, are you really living? And I've gotten to a point now where I see people living and they're happy, and they go to work and they go home and they're happy, and they don't have the work stress, and they're not miserable. And I like this life of living out that I can live my dreams because I'm seeing other people do it too.
No, that's what's the website? How do people get involved with the association?
NLBWASandiego.org.
Right. So, question for you, Diana. You're single mom, correct?
Correct.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 boys.
And how old are they?
18 and 2.
18. Very good. So now, does the 2-year-old have his own account now, retirement?
He does.
I know.
He is doing quite well with his investments. Yes.
And good. How's the 18-year-old do with money?
He is the stingiest person I have ever met in my life. He got about $2,800 when he graduated with all the money lays and all the gifts and everything. And I said, "What are you going to buy?" And he said, "Actually, I want to invest it." And I said, "Oh, good job, Mom. I did a good job."
Right? You did a great job.
He's currently in Japan having his graduation trip.
Awesome.
And it's really nice to see that I rubbed off on him.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to be thanking you. They already have, obviously, by being a great mom, but they're going to be thanking you so much. And you're so spot on. the money that you have, because you started investing when you were younger, and people think, I'm going to wait till I'm older.
Yeah.
No, it just makes all the sense in the world. Start, I don't care if it's $5, whatever.
Just get it done. And think of it as a bill, have one less outing and then just put that away for yourself. It's always good to pay yourself first. And there's clients that sit down and I let them know, you really don't have the money to invest. Let's take care of this. And, it doesn't give me the business, but it gives me the confidence to kind of let them know, once you have this in order, then the next step would be investing, because I don't want, to use your last dollar to invest it, because it is a little bit of a gamble. Yeah. So there's times where I say, my banking kind of side comes out and I start balancing all their credit cards and their interest rates and all that. And I'm like, let's take care of this and then we're going to invest. And I love explaining what mutual funds are and ETFs and stocks and all that. It's, once you get me going, then
well, I mean, and the benefit, obviously, of the clients, and not just the clients, it's the clients' families, it's the clients' relatives, maybe the clients' pets, who knows, but in that aspect of it. Well, what a delight talking to both of you. I really appreciate it. Talking to Diana Canales, a member of the National Latina Business Women Association, also with Edward Jones as financial advisor, and her colleague Jennifer Zuniga, board member for the association, and soon to be a mindful expert. Probably already are a mindful expert in that aspect as well. Thanks for sharing your story. So important. And we all know, with having financial independence comes everything else. Comes confidence, comes having a fun life and all that stuff. So would love to have you folks come back on somewhere down the road if you're interested.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Very good. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 19th year. I can't even believe it. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County. As always, co-host Kristen Fogel, thank you so much for joining us. What'd you think?
I love it. I love both of their cards. I think they should come back.
I think they should as well. And to our listeners, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast